Dear students, today we will discuss about a recent scientific break in the study to control the locust swarms. So let us try to understand how it is related to our UPSC examination and what you need to concentrate more. First, we will try to understand some technical terms. The first one, what is the locust? Generally, a locust is a type of grasshopper that can form a large groups, right? A grasshopper that can form a large groups. Generally, these large groups we can call it as a swarms, right? And these large group of grasshoppers, they will destroy crops. That is important here. They will destroy crops. So the locust is a type of the grasshopper that can form large groups, that is swarms, and destroy crops. Now we will understand what is a swarming, another technical word, before we are discussing the entire topic. The swarming means a behavior of forming large groups and moving or attacking together, right? So it is come with the large group and their main intention was to attack. That is called, generally we can call it as a swarming. The next technical word you have to understand is pheromone. The pheromone is a chemical which is released by animal to communicate with others of the same species. So the pheromone is a chemical which is released by any animal. Normally, by releasing this animal, it is trying to communicate with others of the same species. The other technical word you have to know is gregariousness. The gregariousness is nothing but it is a social behavior. It is a social behavior in which individuals form groups or live collectively. So that is called as gregariousness. Now the another technical term is neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter. To understand this article, you need to understand all these technical terms, right? That's why I'm explaining. The neurotransmitter. It is also a chemical which sends signals between the nerve cells. Which sends signals between the nerve cells. Nerve cells. Now, another technical term you have to understand is phenylalanine. The phenylalanine is a natural chemical component. It is also a chemical. It is a natural chemical component. Generally, we can found in plants and animals, and it is very much important part of protein building blocks. So this is very much important for protein building blocks. Make sure that it is important even for the prelims. Okay, so the next important technical word is enzyme. Generally, an enzyme is also a protein that speeds up chemical reactions inside the body, right? Next technical word you should know about RNAI, that is RNA interface. It is a biological method used to stop the specific genes from working. So it is a biological method. Why we are using this method? To stop specific genes from working. Understand? And another important term before we are discussing the topic, 4-vinylanisole. So 4-VA also you can call, right? So vinylanisole, or you can call it as vinylanisole, that anything is okay. It is a pheromone found to cause swarming in locust. So it is a pheromone. Already we discussed what is a pheromone was. The pheromone is a chemical normally which is produced in the animal. What is 4-vinylanisole? It is a pheromone found to cause swarming in the locus. Swarming in locus. It is the reason actually. Okay. And we have one more term called 4-nitrophenol. 4-nitrophenol. It is a chemical compound identified to block the swarming pheromone. So you might have been understand all these technical words. So please look it very carefully. Now we will try to understand what exactly this topic is. Generally, the locust swarms, they are threatening the agriculture for thousands of years. Generally, these pests, especially when in groups, they can destroy the entire fields in days. Especially during 2019 to 2020, India and its neighboring countries saw the worst locust outbreak in 25 years. Worst locust outbreak in 25 years. Managing these pests is very much crucial for food security and also rural livelihoods. Now, a recent study by the Chinese scientists has made a breakthrough by discovering a way to stop locusts. What is the breakthrough? They want to stop the locusts from swarming. So the problem here is when they are started to form as a group, then it will become a problem, right? So when they become a group and they're exchanging certain kind of the chemical between them, and all of them should be acting as a group and attacking agricultural field, that is a very, very difficult thing to stop. So a recent study by the Chinese scientists has made a breakthrough by discovering a way to stop locusts from swarming. Not by killing them with toxic chemicals, generally that is a way, but by blocking the natural signals that make them gather in the groups. Just now we told that they are releasing a chemical component so that all the swarms, they're acting alike and they're behaving in a swarming way. So the scientists from Chinese, they're trying to discover a way to stop these locusts from swarming. So generally we will do it by toxic chemicals, but it is dangerous for the fields as well. So they discovered by blocking the natural signals that make them gather in the groups, right? Now, why it is very much important for you as aspirants as UPSC? Because it is talking about agriculture, it is talking about food security, and also it is talking about environmental sustainability. So you can relate these topics in these three areas. Now, we will try to understand. So generally the locusts behave differently based on the environment. So generally a locust, if they are alone, they are generally harmless. They are generally harmless. But in groups, they become aggressive and destructive. That is called as gregarious behavior. So this gregarious behavior we can be observed if they are as a group. So scientists have trying to understand what changes their behavior. Now let us see what scientists found. The first and foremost thing was the locusts produce a chemical called 4-VA, right? And they are going to produce this 4-VA generally after eating. This is the first find out. The second find out, they said that this 4-VA, when it is an acts as a signal to call other locusts and leading to the swarming. The third one they identified is the production of this 4-VA generally depends on a compound locusts get from the food, that is phenylalanine. That is the fourth observation. The two enzymes inside the locust, that is 4-VPMT1 and 4-VPMT2, these are the two different enzymes. They convert this phenylalanine into the swarming pheromone 4-VA. So if you are able to control these two enzymes, then we are going to stop those kind of the swarming phenomenon. The fifth one they identified is, if these enzymes are blocked, if these two enzymes are blocked, then the locusts don't produce the pheromone. Once there is no pheromone, there is no concept of the swarming. That's what they find out. And what is the breakthrough? So because we need to stop the swarming now, right? So now what is the breakthrough? The scientists have discovered a chemical called 4-NP, as we discussed initially. This is 4-VA. It is the reason for the swarming. They introduced 4-nitrophyl to block the swarming. So these Chinese scientists, they found a chemical called 4-nitrophenol, that is 4-NP, and this is going to block the enzyme and stops the swarming behavior. They even used the genetic engineering to turn off the enzyme producing genes, successfully preventing group behavior in the lab experiments. Now, from this, what we can go for away from here, the way forward? We simply say that although the findings are exciting, there is a major challenge, because the 4-nitrophenol, that is 4-NP, whatever they are finding, that is very much toxic. They generally used in the dyes and insecticides, and they are very much harmful to the environment. So what are the alternatives? Please try to see the possibility for the developing a safer chemical. That will be the one of the option that can block the pheromone but not toxic. Use the RNAI technology, because it is a method that blocks the gene expression safely and in a targeted way actually. So specifically, because right now they are trying to use RNAI, but they are using the concept of 4-nitrophyl. Now we are expecting them to develop RNAI technology, which is going to block the gene expression without using the 4-NVP. The third one we can expect, what is the way forward, is design biopesticides and fungal pathogens that kills locusts in a targeted way, and use synthetic versions of the pheromone if possible. Use the synthetic versions of pheromone to trap locusts in one place and neutralize them. So these approaches are generally more eco-friendly, targeted and scientifically advanced than the traditional pesticide spraying. Now with this concept, we will try to conclude on this concept. So locust swarms are a serious agricultural threat. Traditional methods like chemical pesticides are very much harmful to the environment. The latest scientific discovery offers a smarter way, that is stopping the behavior instead of killing the insect. By blocking the chemical signals that cause swarming, we can prevent crop destruction in a cleaner, more sustainable manner. However, the careful regulation is needed, especially when using toxic substances like 4-NP, what we discussed. For India and countries that suffer from locust outbreaks, investing in such research is not just wise. It's necessary for agricultural resilience, food security, and sustainable development. Thank you so much.